Welcome to this episode of Spoiler Car. Today what we're going to be doing is fixing up some rims, some Subaru standard rims, some 17-inch WRX ones. These ones here have got some minor gutter rash and some chips and stuff here. Should be able to see that. We're going to straighten that out and paint the wheel. Okay, you can see the gutter rash here along there. We're going to fix that up and make it look good again. What we've got here is we've got a hammer, which you were seeing I was just using then. Okay, good strong hammer. You need a pin punch set like that. I'm using the big pin punch. Chisel, a basic chisel for fixing the gutter rash. You might need one of those, a file, that's what they're called, to file out some of that gutter rash. A wire brush to get rid of any stuff, burrs and stuff. Some pliers, some good strong pliers. Some Need-It Sally's epoxy metal filler. There's lots of different brands. This one cost 15 bucks or something from Bunnings. Just with all the other fillers and epoxies and stuff. Some sandpaper. Some rougher sandpaper. Now you can either use a spray can. Okay. You can either use a primer. Okay. And then you can use a base coat. So once you've got everything and sanded back, you would use the primer, and then you would use the base coat, and then you would use a top coat, which I don't have in the, I don't think I have any in the spray can. Is get it at all at Bunnings or anything like that. The reason I don't have it is because I don't use the spray cans for this. I'm using an airbrush, which will give you a better job anyway, but you'll need an air compressor and an airbrush to do that. So with the airbrush, you can use the primer in the can for base coat, for your primer, that's fine, and then I'll use my base coat with the airbrush. Okay, airbrush can be found at Bunnings or auto shops or spray painting shops. You can get a decent one for around 100 or maybe even less these days. But you also need an air compressor, which will cost you a lot more than that. And then you will need your clear coat, which comes in two parts. This part and your hardener. So you need that stuff if you're going to be using a spray gun. Otherwise you can buy clear coat in a can at any paint shop. So it goes primer, base coat, clear coat. But first we've got to get this wheel nice and smooth. It's all in the preparation, so the better preparation you do, better we'll look at the end. I'll show you how you bash it out. You need your hammer and your chisel, and you would just put this here. I've already done a little bit, and you would just flatten that out. Bang bang, hit it with the hammer on top, and you just bash that out flat. You're trying to get as flat as you can. Don't bash too hard. If it cracks, it's all over, so you don't want to crack it. Once you've done that, then you would move on to chiseling back, filing back, sanding the rim back so it's nice and flat. We'll pick up on that in just a little bit. I got frustrated and over using that and trying to pull it out, and I got out my old friend angle grinder. Very useful tool, and I just grinded off the flat bit that I'd been banging out. It's reasonably flat, and then I can just use some of that stuff to fill it around here. So it's not going to be very strong, but it's probably going to look alright, and it's not going to cost me much money. Anyway, I'll show you what it looks like when it's a bit further down the track. So I've sanded all this back so you can see it. Gutter rash here. all along here. That's the big ding there. You can see that. See, I've almost made it nice and flat on the inside here. It's actually pretty good now. I sanded that back. Not too bad, not perfect, but I'm going to have to fill this here, that bit there. And I've sanded these back just so I can sort of see what it's like. Yeah, I'll probably use the chisel now just to clear up some of these bits. Probably wouldn't need to, but I'll use it just so I can show it. And then once it's sort of ready, I can use the filler. Pretty much prep them, sanded all back the rims, and put the putty on. You can see that there, what it looks like. And I sand that back, put a little bit over there. Started to sand it all back. Okay, probably better to do, if you haven't got any damage in around here, probably it's better to use a really fine sandpaper, because that'll just take it back enough so you can prime it and respray it. So as you can see, those edges are looking pretty smooth, and a little bit more and you can probably start priming it. Center caps over here, they're usually made out of plastic, so yeah, I wouldn't try and sand them back. I would just sort of maybe spray them with primer and just spray straight over them. You don't need to sand it back. Hopefully, we'll see how we go with them. I'm not too good at spraying plastic. Yeah, but that's what it looks like now. That's what that one looks like. That one's probably a bit worse off, but I'll see how I go and sand it back some more and see what it's like. So, we've got these ones all sanded back. We've got those edges nice and smooth. Okay, so that's all nice and sanded back the whole way around. It's always good to take your time with the sanding of it back, because the smoother you get it now, the better it's going to look when you put the base coat on and then the clear coat. I just sprayed a bit of primer on that just to see how it takes, and it takes alright. I'm going to sand it back because it's came a bit blotchy, but that's alright. All the sides are all taken back as smooth as I can get them. They're not too bad. The other one underneath is better. That one's been smoothed around the edges really well. That's come up perfect. That's that kink. You can hardly even see it there. This one needs a little bit more sanding back around here. I'll take my time. So all in here, all that area, sand that back so it looks like that. So I've got a bit more work to do, but it's coming along nicely. Okay, so we've got this one all sanded back, ready and clean, ready to be painted. I've actually just done a little bit of paint on the other one to see what it's like. Comes up alright. Just masked up the valve there, so that one's all sanded back. Looks a bit scratchy, but it's pretty smooth. And with the primer on it, that comes up alright. So that rim's all taken back, it's all smooth. So these are the wheels. They've just been painted. That one I just finished painting. See, it's still shiny in the paint. They're pretty smooth all the way around. I can even sand that back a little bit to get it really perfect. And this one's been drying a little bit longer. Except this one. See where those, you just see that bit I fixed. Hardly even see it. And that one, it's right there. You can hardly even see that too. Okay, so these ones are sprayed with the undercoat, and then you've got the base coat on them now. So it's like it's a Hyundai bumper bar grey black. So it's like a charcoal colour. As you can see, I sprayed them about 15-20 minutes ago, and they look pretty good. Couple of imperfections, but overall not bad at all. I can't even spot where that big, there it is. That's where the big crack was. How'd they even see it? Looks perfectly round. And you really can't see that other crack at all. You really can't. I don't even know where it is. I think it's there. Might be. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think that's it. You can hardly tell. So that's pretty much the wheel repair done. It's just the top coat to go over the top. Right, so those ones are finished. Just put the top coat on them. This one's probably the worst one. You can see a few little ripples there on the side. Could have fixed that up a bit better, but not really that bad. Nice and shiny. And the finish. Here's the other one. So that's them. Done.